a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here. We greatly appreciate you. We've got a great lineup for you today, and we've got some interesting topics to talk about. Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy in studio with us. Also, Alex Black Belt Lima, of course, in the co-seat here. Interesting comments, RFK, last night at the Trump rally. I don't know if you heard that, but we're going to discuss this. Can the military use force on American people? We've been talking about this in studio. It's going to be, wow, that's going to be an interesting topic to talk about. I want to invite you also to our next gratitude party. We're going to have it on November 8th, Friday, November 8th. It's our business mixer happy hour. Come on out and join us. We'd love to have you there and meet and talk. And we're inviting our show partners, our show listeners. The real estate team is going to be there as well. This one's going to be over at the Tarp and Turtle. Great location, waterfront dining. And we're going to have first drink provided, appetizers provided. There's going to be chair massage going on over there. So come on and get that chair massage. And you're also going to have boats available as well. We're going to do some boat rides on Lake Tarpon, 2,500 acre lake. So save that date, Friday, November 8th, 6 o'clock. We had to reschedule it twice, Alex, but it's going to be a good time.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And just so we're clear, I am not the one distributing the chair massages to the American people, but they are going to be there, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. We'll have a good time. And come on out and meet our expert contributors. Bring any questions that you have, and we'd love to talk to you and engage with you as well. That's one of our favorite things to do with this show, this talk show. It's a little bit different from most because we have events. You're there. We have local economy focused on businesses. Local businesses, and we've got Thomas King, one of the best here with us in studio. Florida Firearms Academy coming up here in just a moment. Before we do, we got a couple of brand new listings here that we want to let you know about here in Tampa Bay. 1767 Winfield Circle. This is a brand new listing in Clearwater. Beautiful home. It was not affected, thank God, by the storms. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2 car garage. You got 2,671 square foot single family home. You got a 1/4 acre lot here. Beautiful property, circular driveway, front yard with mature palm trees, fireplace in the living room. You have a Florida room there as well. 2 primary suites on opposite sides, so you have your own private bath. Freshly painted, gorgeous home, lighter colors. Great open concept kitchen there. Stainless steel appliances. 1767 Winfield Circle in Clearwater. Check it out on our website. 2309 North Brentwood Circle in Lecanto, Florida. This is on the northern part of our listening audience. You got 3 bedrooms, 2 bath here, 2 car garage, 1,712 square foot single family home right here in Tampa Bay in Lecanto, Florida. Brentwood Circle. This one has a lot of updates as well. Beautiful kitchen, stainless steel appliances, lighter colors there as well. Your closest Citrus Hills Golf and Country Club. You have state-of-the-art fitness centers there, racquetball courts, indoor pool, outdoor pools. Beautiful property, great opportunity here. And you're 15 minutes from the Gulf of Mexico. Check out 2309 North Brentwood Circle in Lecanto, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
Yeah, I'm racing my class to those saving our ass overseas.
All right, TK, so we often start with that clip, saving our ass overseas, and then now we're hearing rumors and reports, and even RFK said at the Trump rally that there could be potential for an updated directive by the DOD, that's the Department of Defense, outlining that the U.S. military could use lethal force against citizens. And this is only a week and a half from the presidential
elections.
Yeah.
We're going to be have to saving our ass over here.
That's right.
He said that KFC said they would never sell their secret recipe. There's so many things going on in the world right now. It's so backwards. There's 12 billionaires right now building underground bunkers, like real deal, multi-million-dollar facilities living. There's something going on, and they wouldn't be doing that if not. So we got the whole deal with Russia going on. There's troops going over there to train. This could be really ugly. In a couple of weeks, we could find out that we live in a different America. Just recently, we just had that kind of the poop hit the fan right here in Tampa Bay area in North Carolina. It looked ugly, and people got the taste of a real traumatic thing where they didn't have water, they didn't have electricity, and that was for a few days.
Yep.
So one of my employees, she was stuck in Georgia. She was over there. She couldn't even use a credit card to get gas. because all the credit cards were, the machines, electricities were down. You can only pay gas. So she was stuck. She only had 5 miles left in her gas tank. I said, I will come out there and get you. She said, I'm going to get a hotel. The hotel said, we can't accept credit card. We don't have electricity. You got to have cash. Your credit cards don't matter anymore. And she went to the restaurant to get some food or anything at the store. I said, you got to have cash only.
Wow.
So if you're not prepared for these things, it's going to hit you in the long run. And that's why these billionaires right now are building these bunkers. When they're saying that the military can come after us and during the election time, that's terrifying to me. That should be terrifying to everyone. And no media is talking about it.
Right. Yeah. There's certain topics that just don't really make the airwaves. I mean, Mike Gallagher does a great job in the mornings here, and of course Charlie Kirk. But the mainstream media, you're not hearing these stories. You're not hearing anything about it.
It's terrifying because I have cops coming into my store all the time, and one just told me this terrifying story. You would think this would be huge media, but they can't tell all that on there because it terrifies everyone. It stops the tourists from coming over. So this guy said during the hurricane, after the hurricane, he was at the store. He saw this guy. He was like healing. He had been beaten up pretty bad or whatever happened to him. So he went up and go, hey, guy, you all right? And the guy just broke down and started crying. And he goes, hey, man, let's go right in here. It's Dunkin' Donuts. And he said, let me buy a donut. Cop sat down. He goes, so what's going on, man? Because he's a former law enforcement.
Wow.
And he said, you know what? These guys came after the hurricane. My house is trashed. They say, hey, guy, we're here to help. There's a couple of us guys that go in there. They beat him so bad that he had to go get medical treatment.
Wow.
He woke up. They raped his wife and kid.
Wow.
And that's the scams that are going on.
Where was this
right
at,
now.
Thomas?
So I didn't want to say anything or the guy's name or anybody, but this was what he just told me.
Is it local?
It was local. And not only that, the other scams are this. This lady said she paid, I think she said $14,000 in cash because the guys are saying, hey, we'll do your roof. If not, it's going to be a month because we're going to the next house, so we got to give me the cash. We'll go get the supplies. So in a panic, she said, here's the money. And they're gone. You can't do that. I know there's a lot going on right now. I know there's a lot of pain. Like all couple past weeks, I've been going to the church. We've been ripping out the carpet, the drywall, all our members' houses, the community's getting together. I mean, even we had Katie Gann, and she's running for mayor. She actually was out there with me in all these houses. Eric Seidel was out there. City Council was out. Everybody was out there tearing strangers' houses apart, helping each other. Don't let people in that you don't know who they are. If they don't have some kind of credential or they're not with the city, that's what happened with this guy. They said, oh, thank you guys for coming to help us. And next thing you know, they're stealing his stuff, beating him up. So don't fall for any of these scams out there. It's actually terrifying that people,
really is.
because you're in a desperate need of time.
Yep.
And you're just grasping for anything, help from anyone.
Yeah, it brings out the best in some people, like you and your good friends that are out there helping, and then it brings out the worst in people. And that's why we talk about self-defense on the show, and we talk about concealed carry and being prepared. Thomas King here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes. And what's your thoughts around that, being prepared, concealed carry, self-defense?
Right now, you got to get right back in your mindset. You should have everything right. Believe it or not, after the storm, everyone came and bought our 200 meal plans in a bucket. I'm like, you should have done this months before. For $150, you could have 150 meals. And these aren't like MREs; they taste like garbage. These are meals.
Yeah, they taste good. I have some.
Yeah, you could have
that package.
Meat,
you boil the water,
and you can do. And you know what? Have a big magnifying glass. If you can't start a fire, use that. There's the sun that comes out. Many people right now, they're feeling the loss of so many things of their possessions right now, but just know this, and this is really serious. John was boiled alive in oil. Matthew was skinned alive. Peter was crucified upside down. Paul was beheaded. Luke was hung from an olive tree, and they all watched their families and wives and children that were fed to lions and burned in the Colosseum. And all they had to do was stop any of that, was to just tell the Romans that, God's not real. We deny him. Everything was a lie. Would you go through that much pain and torture if it wasn't true?
Right.
But they did. They all did that. They could have just stopped it all. So just know this. In this time of need, God's going to give you exactly what you need and everything and more. As long as you believe in him, and he'll give you everlasting life. So don't panic right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Stay with a clear state of mind, and you're going to get everything that you need and more, because sometimes we have to wash away the foundation to build a stronger one.
Yeah.
And this foundation that you're going to build and the community's building together, it's going to be so big and strong that you're going to be a better person, and you're going to have a bigger heart for the love of people.
Yeah, that's right. That's great encouragement, and that is true. It's biblical as well. And a lot of people on that note of biblical, this is something, again, people don't talk about a lot, but there could be a rapture in the next 2 to 3 weeks, 3 to 5 weeks. I mean, come on. There really could.
That's why I'm not really worried about the election. Whoever wins. It's in God's hands. I'm not going to go through and worry. There's people out there right now hating people because they choose this side or that side. There's best friends now, not best friends. There's husband and wife separating just because that's what they were told.
Yeah.
You know what? When you see this kind of hurricane come and people in North Carolina, they're fighting for survival over there. When you see that and everyone comes out, they don't ask, hey, are you Republican? Are you Democrat?
Right.
They just get together, get their hands dirty, and that's what we need to get back into this country is just the love for God and work together and be happy and prosperous for all.
Yeah, and I think there should be some concrete steps taken when Trump wins, that we eliminate some of this propaganda out there, these media companies that just flat out lie all the time. I mean,
it would be impossible because BlackRock and Vanguard owns everything. There's no way you're going to outbuy them, so they can pump out whatever news that they want to pump out. And once you do who's the fact checker, Alex? You know who they are?
Well, you know what they can do, though, especially since Elon Musk is with Trump. I mean, look what he did with X and Twitter. He revitalized that to where you can't just put like nonsense on there. So I think with Elon being in his corner, so to say, he may not be able to shut down these companies that put this propaganda out, but they can put strict laws in place, like where you have to really emphasize where your facts are coming from. I mean, there's ways to clean up the swamp. There's ways to clean it up.
That's 100%. Exactly. You know what he said? He spent $44 billion not to buy Twitter, to buy your rights to freedom of speech.
That's right, freedom of speech. So and that's such a fine line. It is. It's such a fine line.
And that was the price tag for it? Well, you know what? Who has all the money right now?
Yeah.
Freedom ain't free.
Freedom ain't free, and it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Florida Firearms Academy, great location over there. Get your training, get some training in. Take your family, take your significant other, and of all ages, Thomas.
Absolutely.
Youngins up to the older folks.
We have our kids' free safety course back up again. You can come on the third Sunday of the month at 9 a.m. Sign up at ffatampa.com, and that way it fills up really quick. So you got to get on it really quick, and you're going to get a free training. We're not going to charge you a dime.
Yeah, that's awesome. Lots of great training in there. I love shooting and training and making sure that I'm on my skill set and a lot of tips out there. Because what are some of the common misnomers that people have about concealed carry or gun ownership?
So right now, the big one is, I think it's on number 3. You can vote for that to be able to have so much pot on you legally. And what you're doing, if you do that, you're giving away your constitutional right of the Second Amendment, saying you can no longer carry or possess a firearm. You can't even buy ammunition. And I know people are going to argue, and oh, that's not true. Yeah, well, speak with your attorney on it, because I have my FFL license, my SOT license. These are federal licenses that I have to have, and know the laws that I can to sell to people. So you cannot have that marijuana and have a firearm on you, and if you do, it could be a long time in federal prison.
Wow, yeah, that's
a
interesting.
Big one.
Yeah, so from what I've heard, vote no on 3 and vote no on 4. Those are the 2 that you want to vote no on. Is that correct?
4 was
the abortion.
The abortion. One. Yeah.
And
and 3 was the marijuana. So that one was definitely, because what I've heard is that's allowing one major big company, one big weed company, to control the whole thing. They try to make it seem like freedom, but that's not freedom. Freedom would be, hey, you can grow it in your backyard and use it. But yeah, so that's what I saw DeSantis on TV saying, hey, no on 3, no on 4.
Well, I think it would be good if they would just say, federal government would just say, we have nothing to do with marijuana anymore, because you're having to choose from now medicine or defense.
Right.
And that's not fair.
Right.
Because you may need it for glaucoma, you may need it for cancer, you may need it for PSD. So
that's right.
If you need it, you're giving up your rights to a firearm to defend yourself. They should be able to say you can have both, and there's no restrictions to it.
That's right. Absolutely.
As long as you're not driving around and doing something stupid.
Yeah, exactly. And so let's take a quick break there. More with Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, coming up here. FFAtampa.com. Check him out online. You can also find all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our experts, local area businesses. Support the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. And we appreciate you spending some time with us. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. More with Thomas King in studio coming up.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider who shares your values. They offer the very best nationwide coverage on 4G and 5G LTE networks and exceptional 100% US-based customer support. Patriot Mobile offers discounts for veterans and first responders, NRA members, and families with multiple lines. Learn more at patriotmobile.com/consumer QB. That's patriotmobile.com/consumer QB. Or if you'd like to give us a call, you can reach out at 727-263-3707. That's 727-263-3707. And we'd be happy to tell you more about Patriot Mobile.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rimes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back in studio here. Thomas King in studio with us, Florida Firearms Academy. We're talking with him. Get a shout out to our friends over at Solar Bear. If you're thinking about adding solar onto your home, we recommend Solar Bear. They do a great job. We've had Blake Ambrester. I believe he's the president. We've had him on the show. SolarBear.com. Take control of your energy bill today. SolarBear.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives. We got a property at 5930 River Road, Newport Richey. I love this property. It's waterfront. You got 80 feet of frontage on the Cody River. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 2-spot carport, 1-car garage, over a half-acre lot on the Cody River, access to the Gulf of Mexico. 5930 River Road, Newport Richey. Beautiful property. Lots of updates and upgrades. Check it out online. And beautiful property there. 700 Physicians Court. This is a new vacant land listing that we have in Leesburg. This one's a half-acre of land, R3 zoning, ready to be built on. Prime development opportunity, and it's specifically suited for medical or professional development. Great opportunity right here in Leesburg, Florida. 700 Physicians Court, highly desirable area, and 2 minutes from the scenic shores of Lake Harris. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Thomas King in studio with us. And Thomas, we're covering a lot of ground here today and talking about some really interesting stuff that, you know, could potentially happen. you do have events coming up as well.
I do. I have a really special, cool event, and this is with Global Pathways Studies for Veterans. We're going to do a ribbon cutting at the store at Florida Firearms Academy, 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue. That's today at 4:30 to 7. We're going to have free food, open bar, ribbon cutting, special guest speakers. We're going to give away, of course, firearms and all kinds of things, raffle, auction, silent auction games, and plus all kinds of cool stuff. So stop on by today at 4:37. We'll be there. And whatever happens right now, the whole world's going crazy. We got the election coming up. Martial law could happen. The rapture could happen. Zombies, aliens, whatever happens, just know this, that Florida Firearms Academy is going to be there for all your firearms and training and special needs.
And you mentioned KFC actually sold their recipe?
No, they wouldn't do that. That's crazy. That would be the end of the world there.
Yeah,
that'd be like Coca-Cola.
Yeah. You're wrong, Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders, yeah, that's pretty funny. Training. You've got the ammo there. What's the deal with ammo and supplies right now?
So we, like the whole rest of the world, we have been stocking up because the world has been stocking up. And if you're not there already, you better get there because there's elections coming up, and we don't know what's going to happen. So just stay safe, be calm, go to church, have friends, be with family, and just God bless.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. When we talk about the training side, I love the idea of training, constantly upgrading your skill sets. I do it in real estate. I teach the classes in real estate, and I think that's the true professional. And then now, translating that into the common layperson out there. It's so important when you pull that firearm to know that you're going to use it properly, because if not, you'd be sued. And you can also talk about US CCA as well.
Yeah, well, so the firearm training issue is we see people that buy a firearm, they never, ever get training. I'd rather you not have the firearm, because you're going to pull it out. You're not going to know if there's one in the chamber, if the safety's on, and now it's going to be taken away from you and used against you and your family. It's going to do you more harm than good. If it's not muscle memory and you know how to handle the situation, like in our courses, we take you through scenarios. People are coming in, breaking in, you're laying in bed. You have to go clear your house. You go through this, the shoot room. You do all this stuff. You've got to know when to shoot and when not to shoot. If you don't know how to do that, don't have a firearm. Yeah. Because you're going to hurt yourself or someone else, or it's going to be taken away and used against you.
Yeah. Wow. That was a scary story you mentioned earlier, too, about the storm cleanup and the guys come in and were taking advantage of that family. What other stories have you seen? Because a lot of stuff makes it to Florida Firearms Academy, but it doesn't really make the news.
The big one right now that we're hearing from most law enforcement, and we never name the names because they're going to come in and not tell me stories anymore. Right. So the big thing is right now is the looting. I don't know if you guys heard stories. I'm sure you're both shaking your head. Yeah, it's going on. And if you're not prepared for it and you have these layers of protection at your house, not just like spotlights and cameras, these layers that they know and criminals only know to look for, they're gonna go to your house and use you as a target. And we teach that free seminar, how to make you and your home, it's free, a hard target. Please come out. Please get that information. We want to make our community tight and that nobody's going to be able to come into our community. We all have each other's back and try to harm our neighbors or our friends. And I don't know if you guys seen any, this is in big neighborhoods. One of my doctor friends, they were looting through their neighborhood.
Yep. Oh, man. It's all neighborhoods. No one is exempt from it. Right, and one thing to keep in mind, people, is that this is occurring locally, and it's happening, not to downplay what a storm is or a hurricane, but it's happening just during a hurricane. Imagine an impending war or something greater that is coming that is destructive. Yeah. So if people don't act right during natural disasters, imagine what happens during man-made disasters.
Yeah, absolutely. It could happen, and potentially, you got to be prepared. That's the thing, is especially as the man of the household, you have to be the one that leads that action, the one that is in defense mode and out there getting it done. FFAtampa.com. Thomas King, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
Check it out. Physical location, 13317 West Hillsborough Avenue. He's got an event going on to 7 o'clock. Stop by and say hello. And coming up, we're going to be we're switching gears here, going to real estate and to another local business here, support the local economy. We got Mike Haston coming in, everyday plumber, coming in on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, we have a feel-good story of the day coming up. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1, at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our YouTube and Rumble channel. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate you spending some time with us. and supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our great expert contributors. 11 years on air, and it really means the world to us when you reach out to the show hotline and engage with us. You show up at our parties. We've got that party coming up on Friday, November 8th. Come on out and meet us there. We'd love to talk to you also. So reach out to the hotline or hit us up online at consumerqb.com. We got Mike Haston in studio with us, Everyday Plumber. We're going to be talking about consumer advocacy tips around plumbing, and especially after the storms, we're seeing a lot of. We'll get into what he's seeing out there with that. Before we do, I'd like to plug our restaurant partner, Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, and a very friendly wait staff. The food is just delicious over at Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall. It's right there just by the airport. Excellent food. Say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez. Joey's the general manager. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They're going to take good care of you, and they're going to hook you up with a free appetizer as well. Brio Tuscan Grill, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, a couple of hot listings here. As you know, my wife Lindsay and I own a top 100 ranked real estate team at Keller Williams Realty, and we always like to feature our real estate properties live on air, and the strategy works, helps us sell faster for more money and a higher list price to sell price ratio. 1905 Masters Way, beautiful property out in Plant City. This is a large home, beautiful community. You have access to a lake there for non-motorized vehicles. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, 29 square feet. You have 0.38 acre lot with no backyard neighbors. 1905 Masters Way in Plant City. Split floor plan, oversized great room with built-in shelving. Great opportunity to own in Walden Lakes. You have walking trails, dog park, playground, sports complex, and access to the lake. Great opportunity to buy real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay and East Hillsborough County. Beautiful property out there. We got a property at 4229 Red Cliff Place. This one's in Newport Richey. Red Cliff Place, Newport Richey. We have a nice condo here. This is a smaller condo, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 2-car garage. You have stainless steel appliances, quartz countertops, community pool, lighter colors in this home. I love this layout. And you have a beautiful community pool there, clubhouse, shuffleboard courts, and a dock overlooking a serene pond. 4229 Red Cliff Place, Newport Richey, Florida. Beautiful condo. And we have over 100 listings from the Platinum MVP team. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Mike, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming in. Mike Haston, Everyday Plumber.
Thanks, Brandon. How you doing today?
Yeah, man, I'm blessed and highly favored, brother.
All right.
Yes,
sounds good.
Yeah, man, things are good. And I'd like to bring on local business owners and talk about consumer advocacy around different areas. We have over 50 different show partners, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, all types of great home service providers. So I appreciate you coming in and sharing your knowledge on the plumbing business with us. So
absolutely.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I
appreciate
it.
Tell us a little bit more about your business.
So I own a company called everydayplumber.com. It is a 24-hour business. It's residential and commercial service. We do big jobs, small jobs, all the way from fixing toilets to working on high-rises to major remodels, rehabs. So we kind of got our hands in everything. Just great staff, wonderful staff. Office manager Alicia has been with me since the beginning. My operations manager Dennis, which is fantastic. Field manager Todd. I mean, I could just go on and on. Olivia's our CSR, and it's just a great relationship type place. I started it off. I used to work for corporate, and I got out of that because I wanted more of a family-owned type feeling thing, and I started it, and it just took off. Yeah, and I've been blessed ever since.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
one of the big topics in real estate over the last couple of years has been, of course, once we had this China virus come across the sea, it changed our landscape with COVID. And you heard rumors and a lot of ideas, a lot of talk about, hey, let's convert that building to a residential building.
Right.
So when you have it, when it comes to the plumbing, that's one of the biggest things I've read and heard about.
It's the motor.
It's hard. It's hard. You can't just simply do that. It's easier said than done, right?
Right. You have to, you're saw cutting floors, moving walls, moving pipes, finding out ways to do it. You have to reconstruct everything. Yeah. Everything has to be kind of rerouted to make it work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's probably more expensive to do it that way than just to have a blank slate, right? Because there's obstacles there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot more man hours involved in that.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. A lot of sweat and pain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not as easy as a lot of people thought. It's interesting. We had a a story that we talked about probably 6 or 8 months ago about one of these online companies that has the movies where you can watch a movie in your home. I don't want to say their name because I don't want to promote them, but they have these. They were setting up. They were reimagining what a mall could look like. Because in some areas, a lot of these malls, people don't really go to the mall. They shop online, et cetera, right? And that whole trend of work from home that played into some of the other office. But they were creating similar to almost like a Universal Studios in these malls. So they're kind of reimagining what those landscapes look like. But that just kind of popped in my head. We're talking with Mike Haston here. He's everydayplumber.com.
Everydayplumber.com.
Local business owner right here in Tampa Bay, large coverage area, Newport Richey down to Venice, Sarasota, Dade City, everything in between. Mike, what are you seeing? It's been a terrible 2 or 3 weeks for us down here.
Horrible.
What are you seeing
and
out
sad.
there? Very sad.
Just, I grew up here in Tampa, and it's very sad to see your home be just destroyed. So sad. But what we're seeing a lot right now is, believe it or not, is water heaters. We're doing 5 to 6 at least a week to more. I mean, I think I could be way off. I'd have to call the office, find out. I mean, it's crazy. The phones are ringing off the hooks just from fixing. We get broken pipes. We're dealing with broken sewers, and the list goes on and on. It just really, those storms really tore up everything, especially the first one with all the flooding. It was, and it can, hurt the pipes because of the water lifting and softening the soil. It's caused bellies in the line. And that's when the line is going down and then up, and we call that a belly. The last straw that broke the camel's back, the pipe breaks, trees break over and pull the pipe completely out of the ground. We just did a job where the pipe was stuck in the tree.
Wow.
Yeah. And we have a picture of it. It's literally
in the root,
inside the root of the tree. The whole tree fell over. The root came out of the ground, and there's a pipe stuck in the tree. So it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it really is
for sure.
When you think about the real estate business, also a lot of the homes built in Tampa Bay, there's a good portion of the homes that were built in the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? So, so a lot of those. What do we need to be cautious of, and is that where you get the cameras out?
Well, yeah. In these older houses, a lot of them still have cast iron in them, and then outside they might have Orangeburg or terracotta, and a lot of that's roots. But we also call it's kind of, the bottom of the pipe will rot out of this cast iron into the houses, and those are, we call them zippers, and there's all kinds of different things that plumbers call them, but basically rots out, and you're going to have to replace it, and it's quite expensive, and it's a lot of work to do it. I recommend getting your house cambered, absolutely, especially if your house is over 30 years old. You should definitely camber it. And we also have a lot of new technology now where we have jetting. And what we do is we put 4,000 PSIs of water inside the system, and we clean it up thoroughly, and we get all that junk out of there. It's like cleaning out the arteries. It's fantastic, and it'll help the system run better. And prevent like a lot of major damage that you'll have to face if you don't service your lines. So
that makes sense.
It's very important you take care of it. Your house. It's your biggest investment. Most
exactly
people, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking with Mike Haston here, everydayplumber.com. And when you look at real estate in general, just kind of back up, take a little bit of a overview. When you look at that, I'm going to play this clip here from Kirk last night. He had a really interesting talk around trying to create a nation of renters.
And that for the last 4 years, people have been getting poor. In Atlanta, in order to buy a home, when Donald Trump was president, you need to make $75,000 a year. Now it requires $135,000 a year, and interest rates are near 10%. And understand, this is intentional. They're trying to create a nation of renters, because when you rent, they can control you. When you own property, you're a free citizen, and they can't tell you what to do.
Yeah, pretty powerful, right? And when you look at that, that trend has been happening. You're seeing a lot of these investment firms, these BlackRock, some of these huge investment companies, and that's one of my biggest, frustrations with the real estate market is just that there's so much cash. It's kind of cash is king, right? You hear that term, cash is king. So we saw that, especially a year and a half, 2 years ago, roughly, when things were just flying off the shelves, popping quick, right? All these deals happening, sight unseen, flying from people escaping a lot of these northern cities, Democrat-run cities, where they're saying, hey, get me out of here, get me to a normal place. So Florida was a good landing spot for a lot of people. Of course, Tennessee, Carolinas, Texas as well. But when you look at that, you've got these it's an unfair advantage, especially with BlackRock and Vanguard, some of these big companies that will come in and compete against the veteran, against the first-time buyer. You know,
right?
You got
the locals.
Yeah, the locals.
The poor
exactly.
locals that are working so hard that just are trying to get ahead in life. You know, it's sad. Food costs, everything. It's just it's a real mess right now. You know, even with our employees, you know, I pay my guys the best I can pay them. And you know, we run into it. I call it the Band-Aid work. You know, sometimes we have to do the Band-Aid work because right now the economy's not strong enough to be able to pay these prices, which we have to charge them as well. And it's tough. And we try to work with all our customers the best we can. We have financing, and we offer all kinds of different ways that we can help them. But it's expensive. Fuel, gas, nail in the tires. What story do you want?
Exactly.
You know, it's bad.
Oh, materials.
You know?
Well, I do want to ask you about materials. How was your supply chain affected as well?
Absolutely. The parts went up 3 times, 6 times, 10 times. You know, during COVID, it was like get a 90 for a little half-inch 90 was like $5 when we could get it for 12 cents. I mean, it was nuts.
Yeah. So you're talking about a 90-degree turn for those that may not follow that. Yeah. So 90-degree turn, you got to have that.
Right.
When you're building a home.
Absolutely. So cost has went crazy, and labor, everything. And I'm a big firm believer. If I can pay the guys more, I will pay the guys more. And our employees, they deserve it.
Take care of your team.
They work hard. I love my team. They're like family to me.
That's right.
You know. And without them, you're nobody.
Yeah.
You know, your employees are everything.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's all about that.
Yeah, I pour my heart out to all of them, you know, the best I can, and that's it's tough right now, and we just continue praying that maybe we'll get a change here soon, if you know what I mean.
We hope and pray. That is absolutely true. Absolutely. So Mike Hasten here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, everydayplumber.com. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes. We're going to take a quick break here and come back and talk more with him. Plus, we have our feel-good story of the day. This is a really cool story. You got researchers that make their first food using a 3D printer for people with swallowing difficulties. Feel-good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian, conservative companies. And you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent, all types of great essential oils, vitamins, herbs, those types of products. And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well. Tenderloin, sirloin steaks, grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also a business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com.
Lindsay Rimes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team. We're talking with Mike Haston, everydayplumber.com, here in studio with us. And got to give a shout out to our friend Ramin Kazami over at Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company right here in Tampa Bay. Does a great job. One of the effects of the storm is I've got a literal small swamp in my backyard. I had all these aquatic plants pushed up, and it turned into a smelly situation. We're working on getting that remedied, but it also created a breeding ground for mosquitoes and midges. So I had to have Heights Soft Wash come out. Ramin Kazami, heightsoftwash.com, did a great job, knocked off a lot of these bugs from the home, but it was pretty bad. So he does a great job. I highly recommend heightsoftwash.com, that is, heightsoftwash.com. And every day we like to tell you a positive story here.
Tell me something good.
All right, so this is our researchers make first food using 3D printer for people with swallowing difficulties or dysphagia. So scientists from UWE Bristol have developed the first 3D printed food designed to help people with swallowing difficulties. They use the extrusion-based 3D printer to create nutrient-rich meals which are easy to chew, swallow, and digest. The food includes ingredients like pureed peas, Greek yogurt, vegetable stock formulated to offer the right texture with nutritional value for people with dysphagia. The team focused on improving the texture and variety of meals traditionally bland for dysphagia patients. Their 3D printed meals present significantly less risk of particles getting stuck in the throat, which is a common problem. The meals were produced in about 20 minutes and can be made into different shapes and patterns to increase appeal. In a survey, patients and caregivers responded positively to the concept, expressing interest in purchasing such meals if available. The research team aims to continue developing their work with clinical trials and hopes that a 3D printed food could eventually be used in care homes and hospitals. So there you have it, our feel-good story of the day. I don't know about the appeal of that, Alex. What do you think about, you see the picture up there?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think actually it's basically like an extreme puree for those who don't dysphagia. It's a difficulty in swallowing. It happens to people after strokes and other medical conditions, and things can cause it. And typically the food is kind of bland, but now it sounds like you can have like a gourmet, like a lobster bisque or something. And
there you go.
I think since it's 3D printed, I mean, you could actually, as a joke or just for the appeal of it, make it actually look like it's in the shape of a burger or something when you go to eat it, where usually it's just kind of handed to you like, here's your slop, go and eat it. So
slurp it down.
I think it's kind of cool. It's interesting. I would imagine that is incredibly expensive though.
Yeah.
That machine. So
yeah,
because ain't nothing cheap right now. So
I hear you. I hear you on that.
Sounds pretty cool.
It does sound cool.
Hey, it's a new technology.
Yeah.
There you go. I like that. All right, quick hot listing here, and then we'll talk more with Mike. Want to let you know about this. We got a great opportunity to buy real estate here in Tampa Bay, actually in Gainesville. I want to talk about the Gainesville project, Archer Place, 3101 Old Archer Road. We've got 92 pre-construction luxury condos in Gainesville, Florida. We've already sold 25%, and that's our team, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, representing the developer here. And it's Old Archer Road. You're about 1.5 miles from the University of Florida. You're 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. You have high-end luxury amenities in the building as well, state-of-the-art fitness facility. You got Pelotons in there, temperature-controlled pools, cabanas, grills, gourmet chef kitchen. Now, you have 1 bedrooms up to 3 bedrooms available as well. 3101 Old Archer Road, Gainesville, Florida. Pre-construction luxury condos, about 18 months out. And this is going to be a beautiful development, so you will not find any other inventory like it. And the entire ground floor also restaurant and retail. So you probably have a coffee shop there, a nice restaurant. So it's going to be really nice. You won't even have to leave the facility if you didn't want to.
Wow, sign me up.
Yeah, there you go. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, back here in studio, we're talking with Mike Haston, everydayplumber.com, business owner. And yeah, it's tough being self-employed these days too, right? Self-employed business owner.
Yeah, it has its challenges, but
I love it though. Now, from one of my favorite shows, I love Mike Rowe. I love what he does with his dirty jobs. And he's a big promoter. Yeah, he's a big promoter of the trades, right? I mean, because not everybody's cut out to do a 4-year degree and go off to college and do that.
I wasn't.
Yeah. There you go. So is that your?
I'm dumber than a box of rocks. I just know how to turn a couple wrenches here and there.
There you go.
I got some ideas.
So did you go to a trade school when you were coming out, or?
Actually, I went right to work, and my grandfather was the one that told me to be a plumber, and he said,
there you go.
There's a bunch of them in the yellow pages, and that's something you need to do because you're not very smart when it comes to the books, kid. And I jumped right into it, and that's where I went. Yeah. And I plumbed everywhere. I plumbed in Texas and Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, out in California. I was a young kid having fun, playing in drums in a band and just, just being a wild kid. But I stuck with it. And then I got older and had kids and was like, wow, I really need to get more serious about it. But I always stuck with it. I think the best thing about being a plumber is once you get the trade and once you learn it, you can go anywhere in the United States, anywhere, walk into the office, and you got a job.
Write your ticket.
You got a job.
Yep.
They're going to hire you right then and there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always hiring.
Trades.
Always hiring.
Trades are, and sometimes people say, oh, man, I don't know about that. You work your way up. You're the owner of the company in a few years, 4 or 5 years, potentially.
I've had guys go out on their own, and I'm so proud of them, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them.
Right.
That's something I don't want to hold anybody back. This is America.
That's right. Capitalism.
It's about the dream.
Freedom.
And I've had 2 guys go out on their own. They're very successful, and I'm very proud of them. Good. Jose and Mark, and they went out, started their own company. I'm proud of them.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I love that. I love that sentiment.
Absolutely,
that you have that. Yeah,
yeah. It's I get it.
Yeah,
and it's a compliment.
That's right.
I mean, I must have done something right. They fell in love with the art of plumbing, and they went out and did something, and their families are good, and they're happy. That's fantastic.
I love it. Reach out to the show hotline. We'd love to put you in touch with Mike, 727-263-3707. You can call or text the show hotline. We'll put you in touch with any of our expert contributors. But if you want to talk to Mike Haston, everydayplumber.com, 727-263-3707. You can call or text that show hotline. And final thought, back to you, man.
We need more plumbers.
Need more plumbers.
We need more plumbers. I'm always hiring apprentices.
There you go.
I like building them. I like building plumbers. I like building relationships. I've got guys that came to me that have been with me for 10 years that didn't know anything about plumbing. And, they've been with me for 10 years, and now their lives have changed, and there's opportunities. So
Stable career. Also,
awesome career.
Another show is Blue Collar Millionaires.
There's
a lot of money to be made in the trades because you gotta have them.
Absolutely,
you gotta have them.
Absolutely.
Hey, good stuff, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
Shout out to Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, Mike Haston, everydayplumber.com, and of course our production team. Thanks so much for everybody behind the scenes making it happen. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback. Brandon